The term groomer, a lot of people don't like that term online. They're very upset, but they're real. Right. There are groomers. You don't like it? Do you not like it because you don't want children to be groomed? Or do you not like it because it's a pejorative that's used against the left, which is, I think, more likely? Yeah. Well, here's what's more important. Not have people groom your kids. That's what's more important than you getting uncomfortable with this word because it's used by people on the right.
Joe Rogan doesn't understand why some people would have a problem with the usage of the word groomer, as the right wing in America incessantly uses that type of terminology to inaccurately describe people they disagree with. Mr. I want to protect free speech, Mr. I want to make sure that people have their voices heard, apparently loves to provide cover for right wingers who immediately go out of their way to defame people as groomers when there's no evidence indicating that they're groomers. But he's good friends with Alex Jones, who had no problem defaming the parents whose children were gunned down in Sandy Hook. So I guess I shouldn't be surprised. So as you guys can see, Joe Rogan went on a rampage because he had a right winger sitting across from him. So of course he had to get down on his knees and fillet him, as he usually does when he has right wingers on his podcast. And he just decided to completely misrepresent why it is that some people, myself included, have a problem with how that word is used. Not a problem with the word in and of itself, but how that word is used as a tool politically to intimidate, to shut down, to shut up any political opposition to right wingers in America. That is the problem. Let's hear more from his ridiculous, insane, ignorant argument. Let's listen.
As an argument, someone who I think is an intelligent person say that there should be a block against using the word groomer.
Unbelievable.
No, there should be no groomers. How about that? And this is what they wrote. They said, not all teachers are groomers, but a lot of groomers are teachers.
There you go.
And that's real. Constantly, teachers are getting arrested for exposing themselves to children, for masturbating in front of children, for sending nude pictures in front of children. Every couple days there's a new one that pops up in the news. And how many of those people haven't been caught yet? And how many of those people are out there? And how many of those people are doing it under the guise of I'm an LGBTQ educator?
So that's what it is. See, when you surround yourself with people who fearmonger about educators and the LGBTQ community simultaneously, all of a sudden you believe all these little fantasy stories about teacher, like the prevalence of teachers serving as groomers within the public education system. Because that's exactly what happens. All those powerful teachers, all that good pay, all those benefits they get, they're so powerful. They use their position of power to groom kids. Now look, I don't know specifically what he's referring to. It's like every couple of days, there's a story of a teacher doing this or that. The teacher is masturbating in front of students. Not only should he or she be fired, they should go to prison for that. Okay, no one's disagreeing with him on that. But let's also talk about the fact that Joe Rogan spoke to one person who allegedly told him that he or she doesn't like the word groomer. And he's now decided to needlessly make a blanket statement about everyone on the left wanting to ban the use of groomer. Let me just be abundantly clear right now. I don't care about the existence of the word groomer. I do care about how it's used specifically to get innocent people fired, innocent teachers fired, by the way, who might see that they have a gay student, who might have a transgender student, and they want to create a welcoming and comfortable environment for that student so they don't feel like they're out of place, they don't feel like they've been disenfranchised in the classroom. And the right wing will point to teachers like that who foster a loving and welcoming and tolerant environment and say, groomer, that person's a groomer. That person is actually nice to a group of people that I hate because of my theocratic nonsense. I hate them, I despise them. So I'm gonna call those teachers groomers. They use the same thing, by the way, when it comes to anyone who holds a political view that differs from the right wing. They're groomers. This is QAnon garbage, which unbelievably has now expanded to the point where the guy with the largest podcast in the country has fallen victim to their nonsense and repeats it on his show. Okay, Joe, let me help you out, okay? Joe, I suspect you're a groomer. I've seen your stand-up. I've seen your specials. You make some jokes I don't like. And so I think you might be a groomer. Let's start a hashtag. Is Joe Rogan a groomer? Groomer, I think you're a groomer. What? You don't like that? You want me to stop calling you a groomer? Nah, this guy has completely fallen off. Like, so embarrassing. It like honestly hurts to watch.
Okay, can we acknowledge hashtag Cenk was right? He's a right winger. He got guest captured, audience captured. He got whatever it was. He got mind captured. So look, let's break it down. It's super simple. He says people are trying to block the use of the word groomer completely.
Who?
Not true.
Yeah, who?
Yeah, not at all true. He made that up. Okay, and where did he get it from? Guaranteed it was one of his right-wing friends that told him that, and he doesn't think, so he thought, oh, that must be true. They're trying to block the use of the word. No, Joe, it's very simple. The question is it true or is it not true? Not whether the word should exist or not. So that goes to Anna's point. So if you have a teacher that's actually a groomer, for God's sake, out him, let's fire him. I know it's cancel culture, you right? Cancel. Oh, sometimes it makes sense to fire people, right? Yeah, of course, if a teacher is actually a groomer and is hitting on the kids, of course you should fire him. Right? We all agree to that? I don't know, because you might then turn around and call it cancel culture. Okay, so, but if someone is not doing that, and if they're just like, for example, the example you gave, LGBTQ, and you call them a groomer when they're not, can you not see how terrible that is? How you're defaming them, how you're smearing them, and you're doing it based on who they are. You can't see that that's a terrible phenomenon? Okay, then I agree with Anna. Look, Joe Rogan does a podcast. There's a lot of young people listening to that podcast. I don't know if he's sleeping with any of them. I don't know if he's doing the podcast to groom them. So, but I'm sure that Joe Rogan's not going to mind him being called a groomer of young children because he doesn't want the word blocked. Do you see how stupid that line of logic is? And the answer is he probably doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. So let's help him out. Let's help him out, because I mean, apparently outside of his right-wing podcast bubble, he's completely unaware of where the real groomers reside. So let me help you out, Joe. Let's talk about the real groomers. Let's talk about the fact that it's the right wing in America that is forcing women who have been raped to carry to term that rapist baby, okay? Oh, who cares? Who cares if she got raped? It is the right wing in America, which has historically and probably till this day justifies marital rape. They don't think that a wife can be raped by her husband, okay? They've been defending that for as long as I can remember. It is the right wing in America that has consistently covered up sexual abuse towards students, toward children. In fact, I mean, let's talk about Jim Jordan, who covered up allegedly sexual abuse, sexual misconduct that was carried out by the wrestling coach when Jim Jordan was an employee at Ohio State. Why did he cover up the rape, the alleged sexual abuse of a wrestling coach? Wrestlers were allegedly going to Jim Jordan asking him for help, and he basically told them to shut up. You like that, groomer? I mean, it seems like Joe Rogan likes to provide cover for those groomers, which makes me question, is Joe Rogan a groomer? Let me give you more. Matt Gaetz, a Republican lawmaker, is being investigated by the Justice Department for paying an underage person for sex. 17-year-old. Is he a groomer? I don't know, is he okay with you? Apparently the problem is the LGBTQ community, okay, and the left for asking, hey, can you please stop defaming people who are not groomers as groomers? Can you please stop doing that? But no. Apparently, it's the right wing can do whatever it wants, and Joe Rogan will always provide cover. They're always the good boys and girls. And the left, they're bad. They're so bad. I mean, if I can recall correctly, Cenk, in terms of like, systematically abusing children, a lot of that happened on the right wing with, I don't know, the Catholic Church, stuff like that. No, but it's the left that's the problem, right, Joe? It's the left. And for all the leftists who also love to fillet Joe Rogan because they're so desperate to go on his show and get a few clicks on whatever content they're putting out there, please grow a pair and learn how to stand up for people who have no power. It's unbelievable.
So our members are all saying the same thing. Nostra Science wrote in, Catholic Church. But by the way, guys, it's not just the Catholic Church. Almost all the religious leaders, as a percentage, have done these type of things. And so whether it's the Muslim fundamentalists in Afghanistan that have the Hazara boys, whether it's the Catholic Church that had tons and tons of actual groomers, pedophiles, they covered it up, or you get into, and it's certainly true of mainline Christians, every single religion has it because they give them unchecked power. They say, no, you can't question those authoritarian leaders. Okay, just like the right wing wants with Trump and other political leaders. In terms of the politics, there's no question Dennis Hastert, former Speaker of the House for the Republicans, was a literal child molester, went to jail for it. Jim Jordan unquestionably covered up child molestation, according to the allegations of dozens of the wrestlers at his school. And so, I mean, that is as close to a definition of groomer as possible. But the word originated is in terms of a line of attack from the alt-right all the way back when they used a fake charge against Sam Cedar when he was on MSNBC. And we showed you at the time, the right wing saying online, let's just call all of our opponents pedophiles. It doesn't matter if they are, it'll just make them toxic and it'll show up at the top of their Google search. So it is a coordinated strategy to smear people who are not child molesters while actually protecting the worst of the worst, including Donald Trump, who very brazenly said publicly, Jeffrey Epstein likes him young, ha 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 ha. Well, Donald Trump knew for a fact that Jeffrey Epstein was a child molester and he laughed about it. You want to talk about a groomer? So, and now look, the last thing that is really important. You see what he said there at the end? Oh, the teachers are bad. I told you they were going to do a war on teachers. They are. Everything's being blamed on the teachers, not the bankers, not the oil executives, not all those guys who are funneling tons and tons of bribes to our politician. But the real problem in the country is teachers. That's the kind of monsters these people are. But then you get to the LGBTQ community and he's like, oh, you think it doesn't happen? Oh, these guys, they do all these things like masturbating in front of the students and they do it under the guise of being LGBTQ. Do they, Joe? Do they? Show me one story where that happened. Where a teacher masturbated in front of the class and they said, it's okay, I'm LGBTQ. And then they weren't fired. Everyone's like, oh, it's okay, he's LGBTQ. Show me one story, you effing liar. That never, ever, ever happened. And by the way, I know for a fact that the great majority of the pedophiles, whether they're in the school or not, and in the churches, are straight. Is that the impression your audience got? No, your audience got the impression that it's gay people that are doing it because you told them that, even though it's the exact opposite of what is true. Now, are you really concerned about the kids, or are you more concerned about smearing LGBTQ people and going, oh, it's the gay people that are doing it, even though it's a goddamn lie? You're a hateful person, and you've always hated the trans community. Now you spread your hate to more, and you put out that poison every day, and now smearing all of them as groomers. You disgust me. So you do it, we'll do it back.
The floodgates. Yeah, they opened the floodgates. They opened the floodgates. The right wing has created this trend of referring to anyone they don't like, anyone they disagree with, as a rapist, as a groomer. Okay, let's have at it then. Let's have at it. Sure, anyone we don't like, let's go ahead and just call them a groomer.
Yeah, hey, I don't want to block the word.
Garbage argument by Rogan, absolute garbage.
I don't want to block the word, Anna. Okay. And so, Joe.
No, let's use it more.
Yeah.
Let's use it more.
So
let's use it exactly how the right wing uses it.
Anna, I got a last question for you. Look, given that Joe Rogan seems to be purposely blaming people who didn't do it, I wonder if he's covering up for things he did. It's as a distraction.
I don't know.
Maybe that's why he's blaming gay people in general for things they didn't ever do. I mean, you probably maybe have a guilty conscience, and you probably want somebody to look somewhere else. It does make you really wonder, is Joe Rogan a groomer? Has he done this to little children?
We're just asking the question.
We're just asking questions, and it's a word,
and
free
I hope
speech.
He's not offended.
A free speech.
He's not offended.
I'm
Don't be
keep
offended,
asking
Joe.
you.
We're just asking the question. We're just wondering if you're a groomer. Just wondering.
Look, I don't know.
We gotta go.
I don't know how many children Joe Rogan might have molested. I don't know what the number is. I don't know if it's in the dozens. I don't know why he's covering it up so much. But people have a right to know how much of a groomer and pedophile is Joe Rogan. I don't know. We'll have to find out. Thanks for watching The Young Turks. We really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.